How's it going, everyone? It's me, it's Jinsula. I hope you're having a good day, and welcome to today's Pokemon Go video. So today I have some unfortunate news. It looks like Arceus, Manaphy, and Phione are not going to be a part of Pokemon GO Tour Sinnoh that's happening later this week. This was officially confirmed over at .esports, where Niantic gave a statement stating that these three Pokemon would not be a part of the event. Here's what the article said. In a statement from the Pokemon Go live events team, .esports learned Niantic has no plans of including Arceus, Manaphy, or Phione in GO Tour Sinnoh, despite them being some of the only Gen 4 missing from the game. Now, I totally understand that this is incredibly disappointing, especially for those players who are spending money to travel to Los Angeles. I really feel like Niantic should have been forthright with this information. I do think there was a large subset of players who were expecting these three Pokemon to be a part of the GO Tour event, simply because every GO Tour event allows you to catch every single Pokemon of that highlighted generation, and it was expected that this year would follow suit, but of course, that's not going to be the case. Personally speaking, I could totally understand that frustration. Like, if I was going to Los Angeles, which unfortunately I am not, I would have been disappointed too if I was thinking that Arceus, Manaphy, and Phione were going to be a part of that event. Of course, up until now, we had no announcements or any details stating that these three Pokemon would be a part of the event, so if players were having those expectations, that's completely on them. Niantic never stated that they would be a part of the event, but this is more about precedence. Because previous GO Tour events had every single Pokemon of that generation included in the event, people just assumed that the same would happen this year. But it seems like the highlight is going to be Origin Form Palkia and Origin Form Dialga. Those are the two Pokemon that are going to be the major highlight. And I understand that, because last year we had Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon, but we did not have Mega Rayquaza. That Pokemon was saved for Pokemon Go Fest later on in the year, so I feel like they're going to be doing the same thing this year. They're going to have Origin Form Palkia and Origin Form Dialga as part of the GO Tour event, and then they're going to have either Arceus or Manaphy, or maybe both, as part of the Go Fest event happening later on in the summer. That would be a pretty awesome plan, and I think it would be very on theme with the entire year. Like, if they were to make 2024 the year of Sinnoh, then that would make total sense, having those legendary and mythical Pokemon as part of the Go Fest event, whereas the Go Tour event would include everything else. Personally speaking, I'm actually okay with this. Not just because I'm not attending the Los Angeles event, but mainly because I do agree with Niantic in that these three Pokemon deserve a special event of their own. I really do not like the idea of them being crammed into a GO Tour event simply because you need to get every single Pokedex entry in that one event. I think that in and of itself would have been very disappointing for Arceus, Manaphy, and Phione. Those three Pokemon are iconic when it comes to Pokemon, and I really do not like the idea of them being crammed into an event simply because out of obligation. I really like the idea of them getting their own event and having the spotlight put on themselves. We already have a major spotlight on both Origin Form Dialga and Palkia for this GO Tour event, so I really do not see them having any room for including Arceus, Manaphy, and Phione. But maybe later on during Go Fest, they could be the major highlight of those events. And I think that would be really cool, and I really hope that's the direction that Niantic goes. Now, of course, when it comes to Arceus, there's a lot of gameplay implications behind this Pokemon. I mean, it is considered the god of Pokemon, so there's a lot of things that Niantic will need to do. In the mainstream games, it would be able to hold different items that would allow it to have different typings as well as different moves. And I think if they were to introduce this specific mechanic into Pokemon Go, this would be a really cool way. And to be honest, if they were to do something similar in Pokemon Go, it would be a really cool way to introduce a new mechanic where your Pokemon can hold onto items. And it does open up the doors for them to do some egregious monetization practices. Like, imagine if you have to buy certain held items and you can't just simply get them by playing the game. That would be really scummy in my opinion, and we really do not want to give Niantic the opportunity to do more shady tactics than they've already been doing. But I digress. I think the release of Arceus, Manaphy, and Phione being postponed to a future event is a really good thing, and I really do hope Niantic pull it off really well. And I totally understand that there's going to be players out there who are going to be disappointed by this news, but at the same time, I do think it's going to be a good thing for Pokemon Go overall. Now, one more point that I want to leave you with is that this really does set a new precedent when it comes to the GO Tour events. Before, it was supposed to be an event where you could catch every single Pokemon of a particular generation, but that's no longer the case. So that means that in future GO Tour events, if there are holes in the Pokedex, there is a chance that Niantic may not release those Pokemon through the GO Tour event. Like last year with the Hoenn Tour event, we had Kecleon not yet in the game, and they kind of rushed the release of that Pokemon right before the tour event. And I'm wondering if they're not going to be doing that anymore, because this year, the only holes in the Sinnoh Pokedex was these 3 Pokemon, and yeah, we're not getting them for the GO Tour event. So in future GO Tour events, So that means Niantic has a lot more freedom with future GO Tour events, and I also think that's a good thing. I mean, I really do not want certain Pokemon to be released in a very lackluster way, and I'm really glad that they're putting a lot of extra thought into Pokemon like Arceus, because that Pokemon is definitely going to be special, and it will possibly be game-breaking as well. So for them to release it on a whim, I think that would have been a very bad idea. And now we can speculate on whether or not Arceus and Manaphy are going to be released at the Go Fest event later on this year, and that's definitely going to add hype to that event. And I guarantee you that Niantic is going to tease the release of these Pokemon at the end of the GO Tour event, and we'll probably get some kind of confirmation on whether or not they're going to be included in Go Fest later this year. That's definitely something really exciting, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I just wanted to share this news and give my own personal thoughts on it. Let me know your thoughts regarding the postponement of Arceus, Manaphy, and Phione down below. Are you looking forward to the release of these Pokemon? Do you agree that Niantic should have postponed them? Or do you feel like they should have been included in the GO Tour event? Definitely share your thoughts and why down below in the comments, and let's have a great discussion. And yeah, thank you so much for making it to this point in the video. If you ended up enjoying it and found it to be insightful, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And I want to give a quick shout out to every single member of my Patreon family. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Jinsula YouTube channel, then you can do so by clicking on the links in the description below. When you become a Patreon member, you will get a permanent spot on my in-game Pokemon Go friends list. That means you'll be able to do remote raids with me, interact with me within Pokemon Go, like with the friendship system, as well as just a lot of other general stuff. And yeah, if you want to support my channel in a different way, you can do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula, and I'm on the platforms that you see on screen. And that's going to be it. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.